Welcome to today's lesson. Now recall in the last video we looked at statistics finding mean, mode, and median of ungrouped data. But in today's video we are looking at statistics. But this time around we'll find the mean, mode, and median of group data. Well, if you have a question, the one you have on your screen now, and you're asked to find the mean, mode, and median, how do you go about doing this? Well, before we get started, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share. If you have any question you want me to find answers to, please put it in the comment section. If there's a topic you want me to teach, also put it there. Now let's come back to the question. We have the class interval and the frequency. Now this is an example of a group data, and we have to find the mean, mode, and median. So what do we do? Well, it's not difficult. Just that it's a little bit complex, unlike ungroup data. Well, the first thing we're going to do is to get the midpoint or mid value of what you have there in the class interval. Now, how do you get the mid value? This is how to get it. So I'm going to start with the first one, 0 to 4. To get the mid value for 0 to 4, I'll simply add 0 plus 4 and divide it by 2, which gives me 4 divided by 2, and that's equal to 2. Now I'll go to the next one. The next class interval I have is from 5 to 9. I'm going to add 5 plus 9 and divide by 2. This will give me 14 divide 2, and that's equal to 7. I'll go to the next class interval, which is 10 to 14. I'm going to add them together, 10 plus 14, or divide by 2, and that gives me 24 divide 2, which is equal to 12. Now I'm going to go to the next one. The next class interval is from 15 to 19. So I'm going to add them together, 15 plus 19, and divide by 2. If you add them together, you're going to have 34 divide 2. And if 34 should divide 2, that gives you 17. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be 20 to 24. We'll add them together, 20 plus 24, and divide by 2. If you add them together, you're going to have 44 divided by 2, and that gives you 22. Now, this is the first step. Once you've come to this stage, you can now find your mean. Now, at this point, we can use the procedure we used in ungroup data. Now, in this case, our class interval for 0 to 4 is 2. I'll use it to multiply the frequency. So open a bracket for 2 multiply 4, close the bracket plus. The next interval from 5 to 9 is 7. So 7 times 6. Open a bracket for 7 multiply 6. Plus, the next interval is 10 to 14. And remember, we got the mid value as 12. So 12 times 8, or 12 multiply 8. The next interval is from 15 to 19. And we got the mid value as 17. So it's going to be 17 multiply 7. And lastly, from 20 to 24, our mid value was 22, and we multiply it by 5. So we're done. And then divide addition of all the frequencies. 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 5. So what would this amount to? 2 times 4, 8. 7 times 6, 42. 12 times 8, 96. 17 times 7, that gives you 119. And lastly, 110. Divide 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 8, 18, plus 7, 25 plus 5, then you have 30. If you add them together for 8 plus 42 plus 96 plus 119 plus 110, using your calculator, you're going to have 375. You can confirm that and divide by 30. If you divide 375 by 30, approximately your answer will be 12.5. That's it for the mean. Now, there is a formula for solving for mode, and I hope you should be able to remember this formula and what they stand for. You have the capital letter L, or uppercase L, plus in brackets the lowercase l, or small letter l, divide L plus U, close brackets, and then you have C. Now, what do these stand for? Now, please remember this. This L, which is the uppercase L, stand for the lower boundary value. The lower boundary value of the modal class interval. Now, if you check the question, remember what mode is, the one with the highest frequency. Now, let's look at the class interval. Which of the class interval has the highest frequency? Remember, these are the frequencies 4, 6, 8, 7, and 5. So, which one is the highest? It's 8. So, the class interval with the highest frequency is 10 to 14. But now, what does this L stand for? Like I said, it stands for the lower boundary value. So what is the lower boundary value? Since we'll be able to identify the modal class interval. So the lower boundary value will be this 9.5. That's it. Once you can get the modal class interval, then this 9.5 is the lower boundary value. Now, let's go to the next one. Open brackets. What does this L stand for? The L stand for the difference in frequency on the lower boundary. So in this case, this is the modal class interval, remember. So the L stand for the difference between the frequency of the modal class interval and the frequency of the lower boundary. So this is 8 minus 6, and that gives me 2. Divide. This is also 2 because these two are the same, plus u. Now, what does that u stand for? It's actually a lower case u or small letter u. The u stand for the difference in frequency on the upper boundary. So remember, this is the modal class interval. So it's going to be the difference between this and the upper boundary, the frequency of the upper boundary. So which is 8 minus 7, and that gives me 1, close brackets. I hope we're following. And what does the C stand for? The class interval. So how do you get this? Now, this is from 0 to 4. It's the same, 5 to 9. But to be so sure, to be accurate, so that you don't make mistake, getting the class interval is not a subtraction thing, 9 minus 5, and then you just say it's 4. That would be wrong. You start counting from this value and end in this value. If possible, you can use your fingers. Start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many fingers did you count? It's 5. The same thing if you're counting with this. You start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many fingers did you count? It's the 5. So that's how to get it. And so this will become 9.5 plus, open bracket, 2 divide 2 plus 1, 3, and close bracket, 5. So at this point, we're having 9.5 plus 2 times 5 is 10, divide 3. And so if 10 should divide 3, it's going to be 9.5 plus 3.3. It's going to be a recurring decimal, so you can take it to one decimal place and stop. And then 9.5 plus 3.3 will give you 12.8. So this is the mode. Now let's solve for the median. But there is a formula for solving for the median of a group data. And that's the formula you have here. Median is equal to uppercase L or capital letter L plus open bracket n divide 2 minus summation f of the sub L divide the frequency of the median, close bracket, and then your C. Now, what do all of these values stand for? I'm going to give them to you. Well, just be patient. At the end of the class, I'll write them out so that you get to know what they stand for, both for the mode and the median. Now, what does this L, the capital letter or upper case L, stand for? It is the lower class boundary of the median class. So let's get the median class from our table. If you go back to the table, you'll notice that the median is the middle number when the numbers are arranged in ascending or descending order. If you check, you discover that your frequency is 30. So which means you're going to have two numbers as median. And those two numbers will be in the 15th and 16th position. And that 15th and 16th position is in the frequency of the class interval from 10 to 14. So your median is in the class interval of 10 to 14. So we've gotten the median class interval, which is 10 to 14. So what is now the lower class boundary of that median class? it is 9.5, and that's why I got 9.5. Now, what does the n stand for? Is the same thing as a frequency. If you add all the frequencies together, 4 plus 6 plus 9, sorry, 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 5, that gives you 30. Now, what does this stand for? Summation F sub L. Well, this stands for the sum of all the frequencies of the class intervals lower than the median class. Now let's go back to the table. If you write out the table I gave to you, you'll notice that the median interval is 10 to 14 and the frequency is 8. So what we need to do here to get a summation of the frequency, which is the sum of all the frequencies of the class interval lower than the median class, is to add all the frequencies before the frequency of the median class. The frequencies you have before the frequency of the median class is 4 and 6. So 4 plus 6 will give you 10. Then what is F sub median? It is the frequency of the median class. We already know the class interval of the median class, which is 10 to 14. The frequency of that is 8. And that's why F sub median is 8. And of course, C is the class width of the median class, and that is 5. We'll discuss how to get this by counting your fingers from the range of values you have. How many you count is the number of the class. So having gotten all of these, let's apply it into the formula to get our median. Our L is already 9.5, so you write it there, plus your n is 30, divide 2, minus your summation f of sub L is 10, then divide the frequency of the median class is 8, close bracket, and your class width is 5. So this is 9.5 plus open bracket, 30 divided 2 is 15, minus 10 divided 8, close bracket, multiply 5. This will give you 9.5 plus 15 minus 10, it's 5, divide 8, and you multiply by 5. So this will give you 9.5 plus 5 times 5 is 25, divide 8, which is 9.5 plus. Now, what is 25 divide 8? That should give you 3.1 to 1 decimal place. And if you add them together, that's 12.6. So that is the answer to the question on how to find the media of group data. So these are the two formulas. Try to remember them and what they stand for. The formula for solving for mode, you can see it there and what they all stand for. You could also see the formula for solving for median and what it stands for. If you can remember these formulas and what it stands for, it's easier for you to solve for the mode and median of a group data. Again, if there's any question, please put the question in the comment section. If there's a topic you want me to talk about, also put it there. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.